Well, welcome back to the race room. We're going to do some daily races here in a moment. Back into the TCRs and Hungaroring. A little bit of practice here. Of course, qualification based off the time trial leaderboards, which is a pretty cool thing. The race starting in about 6 minutes. Go adjust for the number of beers I had this afternoon. Still don't quite think that Hungaroring is exactly accurate. But these cars are tremendous fun around here. Not so great for open wheel cars, but these tin tops, the track makes for very good racing. So we've just seen the top 10 shootout for Bathurst happen this afternoon. Kostecki getting pole, fantastic lap 2 at 4.0. Of course, he's still complaining about the Fords being down on top line speed, but a couple of kph here and there. Love that last corner. Cambers nicely, hug that inside wall. Track cut. So make sure we've got our correct thing loaded. RaceRoom is you can just jump back out and change the binding very quickly. Like other sims that require you to go all the way back to the main menu. Very warm day here in Australia as well. I've been to the pool, had a few beers, and that's what it's all about, jumping into a few daily races. Time about 2 minutes till the server kicks over. It would be nice if it had some sort of reminder system in case you are off practicing and forget the start of the server. A little bit ahead of our qualifying time so far. Very much need to unsettle these cars a little bit on the entry. That helps you drag the car through the corner. We have lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. tremendous fun to drive though. I'll gain a little bit of time here in the last sector if we can. Get it nice and tight. Throttle nice and early. And one more lap, I suppose. He's gained some time that line in that final sector, which is good. Right, so track cut will get out there and go into the server. Should be ready to go. Keep saying I love this new HUD, looks absolutely fantastic. Hopefully they make that game wide. Looks a lot better than the regular RaceRoom menu HUD. We've got a fair few registrations here for the TCR. Still very long loading times, unfortunately. Very long loading times. There we go, finally. Oh, that's a New Zealander, not an Aussie, but we've got somebody from this part of the world at least. And all we can really adjust is fuel levels and brake pressure. Can't actually click anything at the moment. There we go. I've had a few little crashed desktops as well, unfortunately, last couple of nights, but in general it's been fairly stable. Currently 17 players in the server for this first race. There's always a little bit of carnage, of course, in TCR or Super Tourers. You can bash the cars together and race that way, so it does become a bit of a smash and crash 'em sort of event sometimes. 2 minutes of practice left. Late afternoon looks very, very nice, of course. No, absolutely not, mate. I think RaceRoom is the best, the number one. Best force feedback. I love it. Love the feedback through the wheel. Love the tyre physics. For me, it is absolutely number one. I think that's a general consensus amongst all the comments on the videos lately about the new RaceRoom. People trying it, absolutely love it. Sure, man, that rotation, I'm very happy with the FFB, so maybe it's a setting or an equipment issue, I'm not sure, but I'm certainly more than happy with the RaceRoom. A little bit of a gap here that I go in front. Yeah, the multiplayer pack's pretty good value for what you get. 12 cars and 27 tracks, I think, for just 90% off at the moment. Stewie, how are you, mate? I'll see you Monday night. Better try and set a lap tomorrow, I suppose, on the time trial board with GTL's endurance, I think round 6 in the hypercars. Doing a bit of a fill-in for Newcastle Racing this week. 2-hour event on Monday night, which should be great fun here in the heat. Doing that with Australia's biggest and best automobilista community, that's GTL. May not, oh there we are, end of this session. I may not find the game fun to drive, but certainly love driving with those boys at GTL. So back to kick over now to race server. Again, we're qualifying off the TT, off the time trial, which is a great time saver. One Kiwi there, and the rest look like they're all Europeans. What, 40 odd seconds till we kick off. Should be about 8 or 9 laps. It's a 2-minute lap, so maybe 7 or 8 laps. Fairway back here. Oh, actually on pole. Sorry, so we must have the quickest TT lap. Try and stay in front. You guys have a better start behind there. Got a bit of carnage down here in turn 1. I think I heard a few sounds there behind of guys crashing together. There we go. A little bit of crash and bash behind. Got the Italian behind us. Will already left the game. It's been punted, I say, at turn 1. Slow down there of some sort for sure. Yep, 0.29 the next 50 seconds. That's the best time to get it on the chicane or at the final corner. Is a great spot to do those slowdowns if you can. Hungaroring does lead itself to a few off-track adventures. You've got to be very careful with those slowdowns, those time penalties. Also, learning when to give them back is probably the biggest thing as well. You give that time back in the wrong spot, you definitely cost yourself a heap of time. Shift protection on there kicking in, which is super annoying. My favourite corner, this last corner. Try and hug it as tight at the inside as you can. This track's really rubbish at open wheel cars, but I'll tell you what, these sort of tin tops, absolutely fantastic. It seems Hungaroring has these just fantastic cambers on most of the corners, just drags the car through that. Excuse me, that turn 3 is an example of that. The final corner, just load the car up, get it through there beautifully. This corner is obviously off camber, but the rest of them really do camber fantastically well. these cars. Tipping me nice and early, a little bit of oversteer on the entry, just to help bring the car around, so to give the wheel a bit of a wobble before you hit the corner, to unsettle the car a little bit, and just drag your way through the corner. A lot of retirements so far as well. Got 4 or 5 guys in the pits there already. There, so that's a lot of turn 1 carnage, which tends to happen at, well, most places, but especially here when you've got a bit of a long run before turn 1, then a nice tight T1. About a 3-second lead after the 2 laps there. Like someone's been in the pits there for damage already. Slightly hold us up there right in the middle of the corner, but that's okay. Hopefully also holds up, P2. At the moment we're certainly he's in the middle, and he has held him a little bit there through turn 4, which is nice for us. Not very great awareness there from that person coming out of the pits. But these are obviously essentially public lobbies. We'll get a little bit of interesting driving. Just gotta take the good with the bad, unfortunately. Not sure when the new week kicks in. Obviously the new content for RaceRoom each week should change fairly regularly, I would think. There's a lot of GT3, we've got the TCRs here at Hungaroring, there's the Tartus F4s at Austria, so a nice little variety of stuff. Of course there's a huge roster of cars in RaceRoom. Everything from retro tin tops, right through the modern Formula 1 stuff, trucks, the whole lot, so something for everybody, but the content can be quite expensive, unfortunately. But to be fair, I think you look at most simulators, if you start from scratch, they probably all look pretty expensive, whether it's iRacing or AMS2 or rFactor 2. About 4 seconds ahead of second place here at the moment. It is fairly expensive, but to be honest, most of the sims are when you take them on face value. Just depends where you want to put your hard-earned cash. Good thing with RaceRoom, of course, you can try any car for free as long as you like. So you can see if you like the physics, if you like how the game feels, or you do plonk your hard-earned cash down. So that's a huge plus. So there's no excuse not to try it. Seconds ahead now of second place. Hopefully everyone's going to tune in to Bathurst tomorrow, and I'll certainly be plonked on the TV at 11:45 in the morning. Get all the chores done before that, and then we'll plonk ourselves in front of the TV all day. Plenty of beers ready to go, plenty of snacks. traffic in front for the foreseeable future. 6 minutes to go. It's probably 4 laps. Keep everything clean. RaceRoom very strict on the track limits. Something you do get used to. Same for everybody. It's just the way it is. Hasn't changed in a very long time, so I don't see it changing in the foreseeable future. Mate, it really is looking fantastic. This for me is the new R Factor. R Factor, of course, has pretty much gone by the wayside now that Studio 397 are concentrating fully on LMU. I sort of put KW Studios in the same class as Reza. They're a small studio team, working very hard at what they do, constantly updating. This game, again, 12 years old, still improving it. DirectX 12 coming next year. The update that dropped last week, bringing the new shader stuff, is all a precursor to getting weather into the game, and day-night cycles that will come very soon as well. Once this game gets weather and all the physics that come with that, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So much content. Again, the best netcode of all the simulators. I've said that for a long time before even this last update. Was a fantastic netcode, just a shame very low numbers, but with this current update, getting big grids, lots of eyes on the game, so hopefully people see that as well. About to catch 10th place here coming out, so we've had about 6 or 7 dropouts there in the first lap or two. Yeah, next race might be a GT3 race, I think. I do love on the multiplayer screen too, it tells you which races overlap, so you can see straight away if you do this race, for example, what races you're going to miss out on with the timings. It's a really cool little feature. It's one of those sort of quality of life menu things that you sort of take for granted, but does make plenty of your nights out very good. And Duran's been disqualified there, probably too many incident points, I dare say. Someone's going off up ahead there, a little bit of dust. This is by far and away the most natural feeling simulator in terms of how you drive, the way you slide the car, the feedback through the brakes. It's the word I come back to, it's just natural, everything's natural about it. Absolutely love it. 3:20 to go, so there should be 2 more laps to go, 7.5 seconds ahead. Look at this 10th place person here in a minute. Hopefully they're paying attention. May also just be safe just to hang back, to be honest. You never quite know how the other guys are going to react. Still do have some slight ping issues in this part of the world. It is mainly a European-based server system. As he goes off there, and he may come back in front of us, and he does. Did sort of see us at the last minute there. That's good. Let's tuck in behind. Yeah, it is a mainly European-based server system, but we've also had the massive NBN upgrade here in Australia in the last few weeks, so my speed's been boosted to 750. We are on Ethernet, of course, not Wi-Fi, so it does make a little bit of difference, so not getting the big pings that we used to get in RaceRoom a few months ago. Come out now, this will be 1 more lap to go when we cross the line. I think over an hour to a minute 45 to go, which is not quite a full lap. slow down penalty there. We'll try and clear here. There we go. Of course, this lap won't count because of the cut in the final sector. Love these quick fire races, 15 minutes, bang, 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 you qualify on the time trial system, straight into practice, straight into a race. Alright, there we go, that will be crossing the line. Avoided the first lap carnage. A little win there in RaceRoom. We'll jump out here in a second and see what's on offer next. Passed the lap by quite a bit there as well. Had at least a second on the field, or a second and a half. It's 9:40, so sorry, 7:45. We've got TCR again. We've got GT3 in 12 minutes. Or 8:15. That's a bit far away for. Wouldn't mind the MX5, but it's a bit far away, so I might do the GT3 again at Nürburgring. Choose something different this time. We've done Max's GT3 car there. That's a video I wouldn't mind doing. The RaceRoom does have the NLS version of Nordschleifer. Wouldn't mind taking the 296 around, see how close we get to Max's. Was it 751 he did last week or whatever? Let's use the McLaren. Livery, I don't know. Let's that one looks nice. That's a great feature actually on that menu there, search function in the button bindings. Very easy to find things, very easy to change stuff, even mid-session. Load different profiles up if you loaded the wrong profile, because obviously I've got many profiles. I've got round wheel, left shift, right shift, Formula 1 style wheel. Speaking of which, we should change that out. Let's just do that. Yeah, the correct wheel on there. Back on the wall. Lovely dovely. Do a bit of a qualifying practice run thing here at the moment. So FOV a little bit better. also got the wrong wheel profile loaded, so again, as we we're just talking about, we'll just go back in so I can actually change the traction control levels. Choose that one there, which has got the right bindings. Restart. I've ever driven the McLaren, to be honest. Driven it plenty in AMS too. Actually took a win at a very wet Bathurst a couple of years ago in the McLaren 720. One of my most fun races to date. Of course with GTL. A great battle with Gun 180 on that night. Until he lost the wing. In the wet with absolutely mega. TC, a little bit more slip to reverse, a bit like Assetto Corsa. Higher TC is actually a lower value. So 4 out of 6 is a bit less slip, and you can of course tweak that stuff. It's very nuanced, very complicated in some ways to get the TC set properly. So there we go, spin around, just catch the curve and off we go. Restart that. But yeah, the TC settings can be quite complicated. Do like a little bit of slip in the TC. It starts in about 15 minutes. I hate this Mercedes arena. I wish they went back to the old S-curve for turn 1. They really have just ruined sector 1 of the Grand Prix track with that stupid clunky new section. One thing they do have to update in RaceRoom is these dashes. They're a little bit generic at the moment. They're a bit low res compared to the other fantastic updates, so I'm sure that will come at some point, but one thing at a time, I suppose. Let's not be greedy. That inside curve there, super slippy. Track cut. And barely touching the line, getting a track cut. That is RaceRoom for you. This level, the tyres warmed up nice by the time we get around starting on the lap. Beautifully balanced car though. Do love this idea of qualifying via the TT. Great time save if you've got a life outside of sim racing. Don't have to worry about a qualifying session, you can set your lap times beforehand. Try and do a lap without any bloody track cuts. You know, the guy was on chat before saying that RaceRoom had no any FFB feel to the game or any road texture. I don't know what he's used or what settings he had, but it's there's definitely plenty of feel through the steering wheel. Very careful here through the Schumacher S. Does seem very, very slippy on the inside left-hand curve here. Nicer exit there. And now the chicane coming up. The lighting effect's now so much better on RaceRoom. It's late afternoon sun. As we completely balls up the chicane there. That also may invalidate a next lap, will it? Possibly. Pretty distracted by the beautiful sun effects. Like you got plenty of time before the race starts. I've dragged a cone on the track there too. Slide through this, won't cost some time. Eight minutes till the race starts. So easy to catch a slide. Track cut. I actually love Toyota. I mean, that was the whole idea of Car of the Future many years ago that Mark Scape and others worked hard to bring in. Supposed to bring other manufacturers to the series apart from Ford and Holden. Of course, Nissan came and went, Mercedes came and went, Volvo came and went. So it's, in terms of that, it's been a huge failure because we're back to two manufacturers. So I'm excited to see Toyota in, but again, they're using a car that's not going to be able to be sold in a showroom in a couple of years, just like the Camaro. And the Mustang's the only road relevant car they've got. We're going to see more manufacturers in, but yeah, Car of the Future has really failed spectacularly with V8 supercars. Yeah, big fan of Triple Eight going back to Ford. That's when I first started, well, saw them and follow them back in the day with the better electrical Falcons, or BAs. Yeah, see how long Toyota sticks around for, because I think as Mercedes found out, Mercedes are a huge international company, and I think the rules and regulations of V8 supercars don't allow for very much sort of manufacturer for scope of innovation, I suppose, like in Formula 1 for example. So they're very much constrained to control chassis and control other components. For a big company like Mercedes or even Toyota, that's probably a hard pill to swallow when you go racing. You want to sort of do your own thing and try and get an advantage on your competitors by building something bigger and better, but the rules are with supercars all about parity. Very hard to you know, differentiate yourself from the pack, I suppose. So that makes sense, I suppose. Dodge and trucks sort of go hand in hand. So you got to pick your market, I suppose, don't you? It's I mean, for Toyota, a bit hard to sell, you know, the involvement in supercars with that don't have a V8 engine Supra. Sure, it won't take long for someone to chuck a V8 into it. Would look pretty cool. I mean, the car looks fantastic. The one that Crompton's been driving around looks like a Batmobile. Looks fantastic. It's very, very popular, I'm sure. We got 4 minutes to go. Yeah, we're super popular with, especially the younger generation. Great looking car. Just hope they get some results fairly quickly. Just so we're missing it. It took them a while to get a result, and sometimes that's not ideal. One more lap here, then we'll jump out into the servo. Track cut there, yes. Turn one's the only part of this sector one I actually enjoy. This bit's just clunky and horrible, this Mercedes arena. Track cut. I think she's like to do one more. One more lap before this server kicks over. Just hold on then, didn't get a track cut, thought it was going to flash up on screen there for sure. Better sector one so far. Just a fraction down. Certainly some time we can make back. Crack up. There we go. Alright, get out of that. Go straight to the server. At least you get a reload screen instead of a crash the desktop. Oh, yeah. I spoke too soon. A RaceRoom loop here at the moment. Just kill it and go back in. I think it's Alt F4. Reload the game. So reboot Sim Hub I found last night. That was an issue as well. The radar stopped working. Have a few minutes, usually 7 minutes of practice for the race anyway. It's only 8:02, so I should be able to get back into that server. Love that Alpha. Classic Alpha 156. We try those hypercars as well. Haven't brought the hypercar pack yet. Looks like the virtual energy and all that sort of stuff is being implemented properly. So a long race room loading time. Into the server after a bit of a race room doing race room things. Used to be R Factor 2 doing R Factor 2 things. Now it's definitely race room doing race room things. Try again, third time lucky. Okay. And this other night did an update right in the middle of a session. Yeah. Super annoying though. You just get yourself ready to go and registered, and then it fails big time. Hung last time on the main screen. Very Ian, I am born slow, and RaceRoom is also very slow. Just had a crash there out of a server trying to join the GT3 race, and now we can't get back into the game. It's taking a long time to load. Got a couple of minutes to get back in before practice finishes, but the way it's going, you may not get back in there. This might be it for the night. Where it's going. Never takes this long to load up, so yeah, so there's some server issues on RaceRoom's end. Yeah, too popular and I can't handle it, which is a good thing. But I don't think the RaceRoom servers are the strongest thing in the world. This is, yeah, just hanging now. I've rebooted it 3 or 4 times, so unfortunately, that might be have to call it a night. Disappointing. I was very much looking forward. We'll do the updates to other games while we're waiting there. BeamNG and Project Motor Racing. Yeah, I might just get out. Let's might do some MS2 practice for Monday night. We're racing with GTL, doing a fill-in for the Unicorn with Newcastle Racing. It's a 2-hour event at Sao Paulo, Interlagos. We're in a Porsche 963, so a hypercar, but I haven't driven AMS2 since the last GTL endurance round, which was a couple of months ago. Apparently this has had a bit of an update as well. 1.6.8. Pretty much given up on AMS2, unfortunately, with the physics side of it. Always something wrong with the tyres, every single update, but big community here in Australia with a couple of big groups. Great guys to race with, just fortunately the game isn't to my liking anymore. You have to be such a huge fan of AMS1, which is still one of the best simulators to this day. We'll jump on TT here and have a bit of a practice for Monday night. Yep, Woody definitely still does AMS2 with ANZ CRL. He has a couple of events during the week, along with GTL. Woody's a great guy. Met him in person a couple of years ago at the V8 Supercar event here in Newcastle, because Woody lives down the coast. And we met up at the V8 Supercar race. One of those things we didn't really know what we looked like. We just knew each other from chats. So I had no idea what each other looked like, and then we met up. Great guy. Alright, so we're going to do time trial. So we're going to set a lap on the time trial. There is a hyperpole situation as well on Monday night with the right control set loaded, because of course AMS2 you have to load that before you get in. You can't change it like in RaceRoom. And with the right vehicle, that's our livery, and we are at Interlagos. No idea which. Assuming it's just the GP layout. Jump onto Discord and just check if it's the GP layout. Unless Stu is still in the chat here, you can tell me which one it is. GTL, there we go. Alright, so assume it's the GP. We'll select that. I think the guys were saying the times were very, very fast, and even some of the fastest GTL guys were struggling to get onto page 1. Can't see a lot of them yet. Maybe it's not the oh, there we go. Cuckoo 71st. Oh, Esky. Okay, so it must be this version of the track. Alright, there we go. It is Interlagos GP. Thank you, Stu. Choose default setup and see how we go. Car though, like the black and gold livery. Update this. Update the titles now. We're back in AMS2 practice. RaceRoom unfortunately crashing itself silly at the moment. It's the issue with the servers. Buttons do. Screw in the brakes. I'm going to be used to AMS driving now. Curves are pretty slippery. Brake pressure down, that's for sure. FOV's quite set up as well. Locking the brakes in the last little bit there. Don't like the braking feel. Coming straight from the race room there, back into this. In fact, that lock-up easy, it's just feedback coming through the pedals. For that first corner, which is surprising in these type of cars. I'm not totally comfortable with the FOV here as well. How it drives. It's just not natural, not enjoyable. It feels like all four wheels going different directions, like a shopping trolley. With the amount of guys who race in the sim world and real life, and guys like Jimmy Broadbent, James Baldwin, even Jardier now is doing some real life racing. Got real life drivers who obviously sim race as well, and it's kicker for me when you talk about what's realistic and what's not. Everyone talks about the usual suspects, ACC, iRacing, R Factor 2, etc., whatever, in terms of what's most realistic. Not one mentions AMS2. That for me has always been the kicker. They all say it's fun, but none of them say it's realistic. Those are the guys that are driving actual race cars, plus these ones. don't think I can see myself torturing myself for 2 hours on Monday night driving this. Might be finding another fill-in driver, I think, because it's just not fun. Sliding through that back end of the corner there, it's just not natural in any sort of way. Trey, come on. much. I wouldn't mind. I really need to get the hypercar back on the race room and compare these two cars, and that'll be chalk and cheese, to be honest. Compare at the same track and see how we go. Rearward bias, I think, on the brakes. Just a little bit. The fronts are locking up very easily. Definitely need to do a video of this versus RaceRoom's hypercars. Very interesting comparison, I think. Go and see how much they are in the RaceRoom store, if it loads up, because it was playing up a little while ago. You're going to drive all these cars in such an unnatural way, whether it's GT3, F1, these sort of cars. Watching motorsport for nearly 40 years since I was a kid, and I just haven't seen real life drivers have to drive these race cars in the way you do in AMS2 to get lap time. You're going to drive it like an absolute mental person. Alright, that's me. That's made my decision for Monday night. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we got RaceRoom back up and running, and do some more daily races tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care.